In this video, I want to talk about SuccessCompass, also just phase one of SuccessCompass. It's a brand new initiative that we've been working on for over a year, and in just about 3 weeks since we've deployed this, we're already seeing a 20 to 25% improvement in learning outcomes. So let's see what does it do. At e-GMAT, we've always believed that your learning should absolutely be predictable, and we should empower you to do course correction every 30 minutes of your prep. We're the only test prep company in the world to do that. SuccessCompass takes that predictability, takes that course correction ability to that next level, makes it a lot easier for you, and it also makes overall learning a lot more efficient. Now, before I talk about what SuccessCompass is and the fundamental principles, let me talk about the motivation for SuccessCompass. The motivation for SuccessCompass came with the advent of AI, where AI made analyzing information a lot easier. So in 2023, we asked ourselves, how can we do the same thing for our students, and which is where the foundation of SuccessCompass was laid. Now, just in principle, let's talk about the application of SuccessCompass in the context of the e-GMAT learning architecture. For those of you who are e-GMATers, you understand the 3 stages of learning in the e-GMAT learning architecture, where in stage 1, you learn concepts and application. In stage 2, you cement application. And in stage 3, you do test readiness. Now, there's an extremely strong correlation between stages 1 and 2. So people who do well over here do well over here, and people who do well over here really do well in test readiness and consequently do well on the exam. So with SuccessCompass, we wanted to empower you to do well in stage 1 and to do course correction. So those of you who are not doing as well can really see that you're not doing as well and essentially can take those corrective actions by yourself. Let me demonstrate what SuccessCompass does. Now, this is the classical stage 1 of the e-GMAT learning architecture, where you see a course. This is the CR course here. You see a student attempt in this case. And there are a few things that you notice. One is that every activity is graded. You get this score over here where you can see for simple inference from a single statement, this student has scored 77%. You also get the time spent. And if you hover over it, you can really see what's the median time that's recommended over here. So you can really see whether you're taking longer, whether you're taking less time, and comparatively, how are you performing on this activity. Now, when you look at this course, this entire course is about 75 to 80 learning activities. So you get, about 160 data points. Now, while looking at a data point is good, but looking at 160 data points all together and making judgment as to how you've done becomes difficult. Also making judgment as to how you're doing. Let's say you are in module 2 and you've just done till activity 2.2. How do you figure out, have you done well? Are you progressing towards your goal of scoring 90th percentile in critical reasoning? If not, should you be doing course correction? Have you been focused while going through the course? How do you make that judgment? And while these numbers do give you some idea, it's not as concrete an idea. They don't tell you how are you doing compared to those who've done really well in critical reasoning. So this is where the advent of AI came in. Let me zoom out, and we have what we call as a journey view. Now let's talk about what we do in the journey view. The first thing that you really see is this entire course is divided into what we call as learning levels, LL0 to LL3. So there are 4 learning levels here. The second thing that you see is that there is a grade to each of these learning levels. And so now you have these 75 activities that have been compressed into 4 grades, which I think is a lot more palatable. Now we will further compress them into a single grade. So once you've done with the course, you know the grade that you're doing. Now these grades are updated in real time. So as you're doing the course, you can really see your grade. So let's kind of expand this and go into an activity performance here. Now, here again, there's an activity where you've scored 100%, and you can really see the median score for this particular activity was 80%, and you've gotten a grade A. When you get a grade A, what it tells you is that you're amongst the top 15% of test takers or e-GMATers who have attempted this activity. That's a phenomenal grade for you to have. At the same time, you've scored an 85% over here, and you've gotten a grade C. Why? Because the median score here was a 93%. Clearly, while going through this activity, your focus wasn't on this activity as much as it was in premise and conclusion 1, and that's what caused you to do this. Now, by itself, when you look at 85%, you may be really happy. But when you look at a grade C, it does act as an action where it wakes you up and really says, were you as focused as you should have been? And when you do that, when you see that feedback there, you can actually do course correction. You can go back, revise this activity, and then you can be more focused, most importantly, for the next activity, which is our primary thing, because we want you to improve while you're learning. And this feedback forces you to improve here. And you can really see, so this is an old account, so the student did not get that feedback. And you can really see the student continued to get a grade C in many of the activities here. Now, there were times when the student was extremely focused. You can really see this activity here, where the median score is 83, got a 92%, and you got a grade A overall. And so this grade at a learning level grade and at an activity level keeps updating every time you finish an activity, and you get feedback on that. And essentially, it's a real-time check. It's a check that no private tutor can do while you're learning, because no private tutor can monitor your learning, but only a tech platform that has AI built into that compares your performance against the performance of all other test takers. Only that kind of a platform does that. Now let's talk about how does it help you. Now, at an overall level, you may call this person to have a grade B for all of CR. Now, grade B isn't bad. It's the median grade for all e-GMATers. And what this tells you is that there is about a 60 to 70% chance that you're going to actually succeed in cementing, which is achieving a 55% accuracy in hard cementing here. Let's look at the same students' reading comprehension grade. Now, while doing reading comprehension, I'm going to expand this. I'm going to expand this here and these. And you can really see a lot better grades here. In this case. Now I'm going to go to the journey view, and you can really see the learning level grades here. And this student was a lot more focused while doing RC. As a result, the student was able to get many more grade A's here than he got in CR. Now let's see the correlation between the learning level grades and the scholarinium stats for a particular student. Now for the same student, let's look at this here. What I'm going to do is, this is a dashboard view, and this is a beautiful view where you can get where you are in just 2 clicks. You can just focus on your hard accuracy, and you can just look at the last 20 questions. So this is where you're looking at how you've been doing for the last 20. And you can really see in CR, he was at the threshold. But in RC, his accuracy is 85% on hard questions. That's a 99th percentile ability in RC, whereas in CR, his ability score that corresponds to this is about a 70th percentile ability. Again, you can see the correlation between your course level grades and your cementing grades. Now, is this set in stone that if you get a grade B in a course, you can only achieve 55th percentile or 70th percentile ability? The answer to that is no. What it shows is if you've done well in the course, the ease with which you can get to a 90th, a 95th, or 100th percentile even in a certain subsection is, it becomes a lot easier for you to attain that high ability in the cementing phase if you've done well in the course. On the other hand, if you've not done as well, what it shows is that while learning, there were certain gaps. While learning, you weren't as focused. And so you will have to actually spend more time in cementing. You may have to go back and refer to certain of learning activities again to get to a high cementing score. So overall, what the course grade does is it forces you to learn better while you're learning. The second thing is it tells you how difficult would it be for you, or the kind of effort that you would need for you to achieve a high grade during cementing, which I think is a very pivotal moment for any student, because once you get a high grade during cementing, you are set for that subsection. You are not going to forget. That ability becomes permanent. So this is a lot of tech, and you guys may be asking, okay, how does it help me? I mean, I understand those grades, and I'm still getting those grades. So how does it help me, and what's the relevance for this for me? So let me just show you some stats. There's a very high correlation between people succeeding in cementing and the course grade, as I really said. So people who get a grade A, for example, let me actually highlight this here. So people who get a grade A, 85% of them are the median ability post cementing is 85th percentile. 55% of them actually score a 95th percentile or higher. So this is just that incredible. And these are stats that we had prior to us implementing the journey view or the first phase of SuccessCompass, as we really say. Similarly, folks who got an A-, their median ability post-cementing was 80th percentile, and 45% of them actually got a 95th percentile or higher. Now, let me just tell you the context of this 95th percentile. On the GMAT Focus Edition, in the context of e-GMAT, you have 10 subsectional abilities. If you get 95th percentile on each one of those, on the GMAT Focus Edition, you'd likely get a 775 or higher. So that's how good 95th percentile is. Now, not everyone's going to get a grade A on each one of those 10 courses, but just let me tell you that's the importance of this. Similarly, those who get a grade B, all of them don't fail. Their median ability for this group is 70th percentile, and about 30% of them still get an ability higher than 95th percentile. They work hard. So it's not that if you get a bad grade, you're doomed. It's just that you'd have to work harder, and a smaller proportion of you are going to get to that 95th percentile. That's just the function of the quality of learning, the quality of focus they have to deliver. So these are constant metrics. These are metrics that happened pre-deployment of SuccessCompass, and there was this really high correlation that already existed. Now, since deployment, we've seen incredible benefits overall. So for students who actually are aware of Success Compass, we are seeing constantly higher course grades. So what happens is, as students get a lower grade in a certain activity, they understand why they got a lower grade. Maybe while learning, they watched a YouTube video, maybe they were slightly disengaged, and that led to a couple of problems while going through the post-assessment quizzes. Remember, every learning activity is graded in the e-GMAT platform. So if you are not focused, the platform will find that out. And so as they get a lower grade for that next learning activity, they are a lot more cautious, and because they're cautious, they get higher grades. So we are already seeing an improvement in the percentage of people who are getting an A grade in learning level 1, learning level 2, and so on and so forth. The second thing is an awareness of potential. So if you have a grade A or A minus, you now know that in your group, many more people get to a 95th percentile or higher ability, which means a hard accuracy of 75 to 80% overall. And because you're aware of this, you get that confidence that you can do it, and we see more and more people aiming for those higher abilities, even in cases when they don't need that. So that is incredible as well. And then I think the third, and this was a benefit that we had not anticipated, but we're already seeing that, is that people are finishing the course in a single go. So earlier it used to happen, let's say while doing the number properties course, people would study for 5 days and then would take a break for a couple of days and then come back. Now we are seeing people finishing the number properties course in a single go, then doing cementing, and then if they need to take a break, they take a break then. And all of this leads to, again, overall higher grades. Because remember this, one of the biggest challenges you face on the GMAT is inculcating good study habits. And if there is data, if there is push that enables you to inculcate those habits, you're likely to study better. As you study better, as you put in more high quality effort, you're likely to score higher. So this was the first phase of Success Compass. Our goal really is to help you get to those higher scores. And let me just say this, we are the only test prep company that will tell you that not everyone who enrolls with us get a high score. Why? Because frankly, no one delivers as much success as we do. In fact, no one delivers about 60% as much success as we do. So we can really show how much success that do we deliver. And with this, we anticipate that chasm, that gap between us and other companies to actually even widen. Because we are going to enable more and more of you to succeed. All we ask from you is diligence. Also, all we ask from you is wait for phase 2 and phase 3 for Success Compass, so that we can keep you more focused. We can channelize your energy towards your goals. We can help you achieve that dream GFE score and then an admit to the dream B school. With that, as we always say, happy learning.